Welcome everyone to Marvel Hub. This is DK Dynamite, and today we're going to be talking about that leaked footage that just came out the other day surrounding Avengers Endgame. The footage went live over on Twitter. People used certain hashtags to spoil everything. Other people posted on Instagram with certain spoiler hashtags, and other people, of course, had the balls to put it on YouTube, which obviously resulted in lots of copyright strikes, lots of lawsuits. People definitely got in trouble for this, but since this is fair use, we're just going to be discussing the footage, breaking it down, giving some opinions on it. Not going to be showing anything on screen for obvious reasons. Can't link anything down below in the description either, unfortunately, but let's just jump right into it, because somebody on the Marvel Studios Spoilers Reddit under the name of Turkey posted a pretty good breakdown of everything that went down in the actual footage. And right before I jump into it, I just want to remind you guys that there are people out there who almost beg for spoilers as they're itching to see the movie, and then there are other people out there who see these spoilers and are disappointed when their expectations just aren't met, when they're kind of let down by what they've read. So take this with a grain of salt if you want to. Don't take it too serious, because seeing about 5 minutes of a 3-hour movie really doesn't give you context on exactly what's going on in the film, other than some of the action scenes that we did see. I watched the footage myself, and what I will say is that certain things were spoiled that probably are phenomenal to see in the movie during your first sitting in an actual theater around an audience as everybody is shocked by what they've saw. That's definitely the point of some of these scenes, but spoiling these scenes does not spoil who dies, does not spoil a lot of the context with time traveling, with the other Infinity Stones, how they collect them again through the quantum realm. Nothing massive is really spoiled with the leaked footage. Just a lot of battle, a lot of fighting, a lot of setup for things that we don't understand quite yet. So don't get too disappointed. Don't think your expectations are just let down after listening to this video, or if you watch the footage. Don't think that way, because once again, we don't have all the pieces to this giant puzzle that is Avengers Endgame. We don't have it just yet. Maybe more leaks will come out in the next few days as people start seeing early screenings. Then we'll have a better idea as to what's going on. But right now, using just this footage, it's just not enough to really get a clear picture of exactly what's happening here. So as we start off, we have Steve Rogers walking through Avengers facility with normal clothes. Rogers then says, breakers are set, emergency generators are on standby. Bruce Banner then looks like the Hulk, but behaves and dresses like Banner and is wearing glasses. This is Professor Hulk saying, good, because if we blow the grid, I don't want to lose Tiny here in the 1950s, as he points to Scott Lang. Lang is wearing his super suit with some more armor. Scott Lang then says, excuse me. Natasha Romanoff then says he's kidding. You can't say things like that. Banner then says, it was supposed to say a joke, but clearly here they're talking about the 1950s. This could be when Howard Stark retrieves the Tesseract from the ocean. That's a really interesting plot point to think about, which isn't really explored in the leaked footage or in this Reddit post. So keep that in mind. That could be when they're going to get the Tesseract. We just don't know just yet. So jump cut to another scene. Thor is shirtless, looking like a hobo with dreadlocks and a long beard. So we call him Fat Thor. Thor hugs Hulk or Banner. Thor then says, oh ho, big guy, it's so good to see you. Thor sees Rocket Raccoon and also hugs him. Come here, you little rascal. Rocket then says, no, I'm good. That's not necessary. Thor then says, Hulk, you know my friends, meet Korg. Points to Korg. Korg waves his arm. Korg then says, hey. Jump cut to another scene. Tony walks through Avengers facility with a large cord over his shoulder, talking with Thor. Tony Stark then says, Lebowski. Pan right as Tony walks toward a large device that looks like a quantum portal. Ratchet, how's it going? Rocket hanging upside down while working on the portal. Rocket says, it's Rocket, take it easy, you're only a genius on Earth, pal. Thor, wearing ragged clothes and sunglasses, burps super loudly, waves his hands as to say, my bad, while holding what looks like a beer can. Jump cut to another scene. Lang, Banner, and Nebula are standing in a room together. Lang is standing tall wearing the white quantum suit, while Nebula looks like she is working on the suit. A jump cut to another scene here. Cut to the Avengers walking through the facility. The scene from the trailers where they are all walking to the right wearing their quantum suits. First shot is of Nebula, Scott Lang, and Clint Barton walking. Then cuts to Hulk and Lebowski, Thor, walking. Then to Barton and Rhodey walking. Then to Rogers. Rogers' voiceover while they are walking, all of us, we lost friends, we lost family, we lost a part of ourselves. Today we have a chance to take it all. Jump cut to another scene. Battle of New York. Rogers, Lang, Banner, and Stark are standing in a circle. I think Rogers is wearing the Avengers 1 suit. Rogers says, our assignments, 2 stones uptown, 1 stone down. Stay low, keep an eye on the clock. So definitely a reference to the Tesseract, the scepter which contains the Mind Stone, and of course the Time Stone located in one of the sanctums. We then have all 4 suddenly hear a noise. Avengers 1 Hulk is ruthlessly smashing a car on a Chitauri's shoulder. Hulk jumps on top of the crushed car like a trampoline and runs onward. Rogers looks back at Banner. Rogers then says, maybe smash a few things along the way. Banner starts to tear off his tank top. Banner says, I take it gracious, but whatever. Banner starts making primal noises. Jump cut to another scene. 2 Captain Americas are fighting on a bridge, one with a helmet, the other without. Helmetless Rogers says, I know. Gets up from the ground and throws his shield at Helmet Rogers. Helmet Rogers also throws his shield back. The shields collide mid-air and fly off screen. Neither shield is within reach. They both run towards each other and fist fight. So we could assume at this point the 2012 version of Cap probably thinks that this future Cap is probably Loki in disguise, just tricking him. He has no idea what's going on. This is his first encounter with actual aliens and creatures from another portal or from another dimension, from another realm. So he has a lot of reason to believe that this isn't the real Captain America from the future. So I definitely understand this scene with them fighting one another. But jump cut to another scene here. Banner is holding a gauntlet that is holding what seems to be the 6 Infinity Stones. The gauntlet is made in the style of Iron Man's armor, hot rod red and gold. As Banner puts on the gauntlet, it starts to morph, growing in size to fit Banner's arm. Once the gauntlet is finally fitted, the stones are activated. Banner falls on one knee in pain. The gauntlet is starting to heat up. Thor then says, take it off, take it off. Rogers then says, no wait Bruce, are you okay? Banner is still in pain, his arm is glowing red, the gauntlet is burning his arm. Stark is wearing Mark 51, Barton is standing behind them. Stark then says, talk to me Banner. Banner's still in pain, the heat is burning his clothes while he continues to yell in pain. It then jumps to another scene here of Thanos, and we then see Thor with glowing eyes, yells while he holds both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, his hammer of course. Stark leaps in the arm with the same double-bladed sword like in Infinity War and attacks Thanos. Rogers throws his shield at Thanos, but it's blocked and he's knocked away. Thanos kicks Thor to the ground. Stark shoots beam at Thanos, but Thanos deflects the beams with his sword. Cut to Banner beneath a large structure. Rubble is falling and rising water is up to his chest. Banner tries to lift the structure but is clearly struggling. He's only using his left arm, the arm that didn't wear the gauntlet. Really interesting here. So maybe he does lose his arm in the film. I have no idea. But jump cut to another scene here. Rogers is fighting Thanos. Rogers jumps up and swings Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, upwards through Thanos' face. Thanos falls to the ground. As Thanos gets up, Rogers swings his shield at Thanos, but Thanos blocks it. Rogers throws Mjolnir at the shield and sends it back to Thanos. It hits Thanos in the stomach and puts him on his knees, dropping his sword. As Thanos is down, Rogers rapidly swings at Thanos with Mjolnir. Crazy, crazy scene here. Rogers is standing still in another scene, out of breath. He hears a voice in his communicator, and he hears Sam. Cap, it's Sam, can you hear me? Rogers says nothing and just puts his hand on his ear, still out of breath. Sam then says, on your left. A slingering portal starts to open behind Rogers. Rogers turns around with the broken shield. Okoye, T'Challa, and Shuri walk out of the portal. Sam flies out of the portal with his winged suit. Jump cut to then another scene here. Rogers and Thanos face off. A long pan of all the Avengers alive and in line with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Thor jumps down into the frame. Rogers catches a flying Mjolnir and he says, Avengers, assemble. T'Challa yells as he runs towards Thanos. The entire army runs along with him. Valkyrie is flying a Pegasus towards Thanos, with Stark and Rhodey flying alongside her. A bunch of other ships are flying next to a giant Scott Lang running. Thanos points toward the oncoming army. Call Obsidian jumps into the frame and runs towards the Avengers. Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight run behind them. Thousands of Outriders are running toward the Avengers. Thanos walks forward. Then jump to another scene. Peter Parker is wearing his Iron Spider suit and is talking with Stark. Peter then says, thing that he does all the time. Kind of gets cut off here. Stark goes in for a hug. Parker says, what are you doing? Parker hugs him back. Stark starts to look emotional. Parker says, this is nice. Cuts back to the battle. Thanos' ship starts to explode. Carol Danvers is seen rising through the ship, flying upward. Her hair is cut short, like in the comics. The ship crashes to the ground in a lake. Jump to then another scene here, the final scene of this leaked footage. Parker is on the ground, tightly holding onto the Stark Gauntlet, talking with Danvers. Parker says, "I'm Parker." Danvers says, "Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me?" Peter gets up from the ground, groaning and with a bloody nose. The Chitauri army charges towards Peter and Danvers. And that is the end of the leaked footage that was shown for Avengers Endgame. So there's a lot to take in with this footage. And if you guys haven't seen the footage, I can't really direct you as to where to go watch it. But I'm sure if you do enough digging on the internet, it'll eventually come up. But it is mind-blowing. Obviously, we knew the dusted characters are coming back. There is no way they're going to kill off billion-dollar characters like Black Panther, of course. But besides that, some of the surprises, like I said, we have Cap holding Mjolnir, we have the Hulk wearing the Stark Gauntlet, but some of these little spoilers from the actual leaked footage do kind of coincide with a lot of the leaked threads and posts over on the Marvel Studios Spoilers Reddit, with the fact that Thor will lose his arm, Cap breaks his shield. A lot of these leaks do line up, but until we see it for ourselves, that's when we can know 100% that will happen. Because as of right now, anything could happen in this film. We just have no idea if Hulk will end up wielding the gauntlet throughout the entire movie. Because it seems like Spider-Man, for some reason, has the gauntlet in his hand at some point towards the end, gives it to Captain Marvel, and maybe Captain Marvel will be the one to actually wear it. But if anybody's going to wear it, I'd rather choose Thor or Hulk, since they are OGs. I really don't want Captain Marvel to wield it in the film. But if they pull it off, they pull it off. Maybe she will pull it off in a good way, in a meaningful way that actually makes sense, not just a cop-out, not just some cheap ending where they just use Captain Marvel since she's OP, of course. I hope they don't go that route, but in terms of what I think of this leaked footage, as I said earlier, as a reminder, we can't let these couple of minutes judge the entire ending. Obviously, the footage was very dark. We could not really see what was going on very well throughout the footage. People are still making speculation over whether or not they saw Gamora or Black Widow in this footage. It was way too dark to tell, way too blurry. We just couldn't see what was going on. But what we do know is that all the Avengers will definitely assemble at the end of this film to fight Thanos. But going back to one other thing in regards to Thor cutting off Thanos' head, we obviously don't see that in this leaked footage, but in terms of them fighting a pre-snap Thanos at the end, could make sense. I couldn't exactly see if Thanos was wearing a gauntlet during this final fight. Maybe other people may have caught it, and if you guys have seen the footage, maybe you can comment down below if you guys caught that or not. But in terms of fighting a pre-snap Thanos, a pre-snap Black Order, that kind of takes away from Infinity War just a little bit. Even if everything is reversed, it kind of takes away from the battle they had in Wakanda, from all the other battles on Titan. If all of that is now reversed, none of that ever happened, you know, as opposed to the snap happening, and right after the snap happens, everybody comes back, not realizing what actually happened, but everything in Infinity War still took place. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen, but the way that this sounds, the way that people have worded it, does sound like almost nothing in Infinity War ever happens, because Thanos doesn't even get the stones to begin with. So let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section. That is a pretty detailed breakdown of the actual leaked footage. I apologize if I didn't read the dialogue too well, but hopefully you guys understand exactly who was talking to who. We have some character interactions with each other, we have some dialogue, some of it being inaudible, some of it being pretty clear, but hopefully that gives you a picture of exactly what's going on at certain points in the film. The leaked footage seemed to jump around from different acts, probably from Act 2 to the ending of Act 2 and to some point towards the end of Act 3. A lot of stuff going on with this leaked footage that, once again, we can't really get a clear picture of exactly what's going to happen. There were no massive spoilers or deaths leaked out, other than the fact that we get a fat Thor, we get the return of Korg and Meek, we see Hulk wielding a Stark Gauntlet, we then have two Caps fighting each other, we have the dusted characters coming back, Cap wielding Mjolnir, a lot of crazy shit going on here. So Thor is still worthy of Mjolnir. He holds both Stormbreaker and the hammer, but at some point Cap then becomes worthy as well. In terms of how he becomes worthy is still questionable. We have no idea how that even happened, but let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section. This has been DK Dynamite. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn notifications on to stay updated, latest and greatest Marvel news and information, and peace out, everyone.